Hello, 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 hi, it is Pete, and today it is chucking it down, and I'm sat in the garden office watching the rain beating off the windows. Okay, what I want to do today is have a look at how we can build ourselves a poster or a flyer using Google Slides. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we need to think about what we actually mean by a poster or a flyer. Now, posters and flyers are printed onto pieces of paper that we can then stick onto a notice board or something of that nature. Whereas a slide, typically created by Google Slides, are designed to go on the screen. Now, we can also save whatever we create on the screen as an image for use elsewhere. So, for example, we could create a poster or a flyer and put them onto calendars, photos, mugs, anything that you like. We can actually do all sorts of bits and pieces with this. So it's a wonderful flexible system, and let's have a look at how we can actually set about doing that. The process. Well, the first thing we do is we need to decide what text we want on your poster. So to put together a proper poster, we need a title, we need a description, we need a call to action. What are we going to do? Yeah, and also the contact information. So the call to action can be, hey, get in touch, but unless we actually tell them who to get in touch with, then hey, that's not going to work very well. So what images do you want to use? And remember, do you own the images? Can you use the images? You can't just pick stuff off Google and stuff it onto your sort of mug or whatever. However, remember when we looked at the Google search and we looked at advanced search, we can find images that we can use suitable for reuse, even for commercial use. So there are them images there. And we need to find out how big is the paper that you want to use. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to be using A4 because that's the size of paper that comes straight out of the printer. And then I need to think about the course, and I want to advertise this course. So I need to think about what text should I use. So I'm going to use the title IT for Beginners, learn how to use a computer in a fun and friendly way, cover some basics of word processing, photos, keeping safe online, and lots more. So we've got lots of things in there. The contact is going to be Lee, and here I've got a photo. Remember when we took this photo a few days ago, or a few weeks ago, and this is the photo that I would like to use. Now, do you mind if I use that photo? You may feel that I'm being cheeky just using your photo in that manner. Let me know. Here, I've got the paper size that I want to use. Now, I've said I'm going to use A4, which is the printer paper. I could use A5, which is half of A4, or I could get some printed as photographs. So for my recollection of photographs, 10x5s or 7x10s or something of that nature. Or do I want it on a mug? If I want it on a mug, I need to find out what size it has to be to fit in that area. Mustn't forget, don't forget the sponsor. Staffordshire County Council are funding this training, so we really ought to make sure we mention them on any advertising material that we create. Otherwise, we may upset the sponsor. Okay. Here then is the next steps. We go in to Google Slides, we set the paper size, the page size to the paper size that we want to use, which is in File, Page Setup. We add the text and the images, then we print it. Hey, life is easy. And that little image there, that grey one, is the image of being able to print something onto a mug. Okay, so let's go across onto Google. And as you can see, I am actually signed in. And here I've got my 9-pack. I click on the 9-pack, and here I can come down onto Google Drive. And here I am on Google Drive. I'm going to come down into the correct folder on Google Drive, and then I'm going to click New, Google Slides. And here I've got Google Slides. Now, what I really ought to have done before I actually reached here, so let's just click the Home button again. In fact, tell you what, let's actually open a new tab. Because what I really ought to have done in says A4, paper size. And here it tells me that A4 paper size in millimeters is 210 by 297. Well, I need centimeters, so all I need to do is to move the decimal point one way. So let me just write that down. So it's 21 centimeters by 29.7 centimeters. Okay, so let's move back here onto my presentation. I then go to File, Page Setup, and at the moment, as you can see, it's set for widescreen, which is the screen on my laptop. If I click onto this, it gives me standard, widescreen, widescreen, and custom. Custom sounds good to me. So here I've got the custom, and it's set out in the width and a height. Now the width is going to be the narrow one because I want mine to be in portrait. So instead of being laid out across the screen like this, I want it to be up and down. So my lowest measurement was 21 centimeters, and then here I can go in and I can type 29.7. So they're the measurements that we got from Google as to the size of a piece of A4. I click on OK, and here then I've now got my poster ready for me to actually start filling the bits and pieces in. Now at the top here I've got my click to add title. Now that's a bit too tall for me, so I'm going to bring that down a little bit, move it up to the top, and then my title was going to be IT for Beginners. Now that looks a bit boring to me, so let's see what else we could do with that. If I highlight the text, then don't forget I can actually come across here to where I can choose the style of font that I actually want. So I could actually have it as a nice sort of script font, or I could go for Cambria, Comic Sans, Consolas, Droid Sans, Droids. Yeah, I can choose any of these. Which one shall I go for? So let's try Impact and see what we think of Impact. Okay, that seems reasonable. However, I don't think it's quite big enough, so I'm going to enlarge that up to 60. Ooh, do you think it'll take a bit more? Let's try 72. Oh yeah, 72 looks big, doesn't it? Yep, so IT for Beginners. And now what I want to do is, I've got that box highlighted again. So here I can choose the fill for that box. So I'm going to go for a warm colour. Let's go for a warm. Is that all right? Oh, I've got no sense of colour at all. But that text black on that background doesn't look quite right. So what I'm going to do now is I want to change the colour of the font. So here where it says more, I should be able to find the colour of my font, and I'm going to have purple. There we go, IT for Beginners. Here I've got the opportunity to put in a subtitle, so I'm going to move that up there. So I'm going to move that and just shrink that box a little bit, and then I can click into there, and I'm going to put fun and laughter, the best way to learn. So there I've got my little tagline, and again I'm going to highlight this again, and this font I'm going to make so that it's actually, I'll make it bold, and again I'm going to change that colour so that it's red. There we go, fun and laughter, the best way to learn. I now want to be able to insert some of the other bits. Now I can't remember what I actually said, so let's go back over to the poster here. And I said that what we was going to do was, it's IT for Beginners, learn how to use a computer in a fun and friendly way, cover the basics. Okay, so let's actually go back over to our thing. And here then I want to insert the picture. So I'm going to click onto my image. I'm then going to click to choose an image to upload. There's my image. It's just uploading. And the image is uploaded, and now it's been inserted onto my document. So I'm just going to move that up a little bit so that I don't waste too much space. So there, IT for Beginners, fun and laughter, the best way to learn. There we've got the photograph. Underneath here is where I want to put some of the other stuff. So here I'm going to pick up on my text box, and I'm going to create a text box just about half the size of that, and then I'm going to put into here some of the topics we will cover. And again, underneath here I can add in some bullet points. So again, I'm going to click onto here, click onto bullet points, and I'm going to say topic, etc., etc. So I can just put in whatever topics I actually want to cover. I'm going to colour that box again because I like the idea of everything being quite bright, so I've chosen that particular colour. I've left this blank space here so that I can actually put in something interesting. So let's go and put another text box in. And a text box. Where's my text box gone? There it is. Yeah. I can click onto my text box and I can actually say here. Now notice how the red lines are going across the page to help me make sure that my images are in the right proportion with everything else. So I'm going to put, whoops, if I put venue here, yeah, venue, Sacred Heart Church, Tamworth. And then I've got room underneath here to put a map or anything else that I want to put in. And again, I'm not going to type in the full address and all the full contact details because this is going to be a public broadcast, and therefore other people may watch it, and we really don't want the church to be bombarded. And then underneath here, I can again add in the contact details. So again, I'm going to add another text box, come across to the bottom here, and type in contact. Oops. Plea for more details. And then underneath here I could put Lee's telephone number 01827, and I'm not going to put the rest of it in. And then underneath here I can put email blah 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 blah. So again, as you can see, we've now got my box all nicely sorted. I can also put in things like callouts. So if I click onto where it says shapes, I could choose a star and put something over here to say, I don't know, oops, call now, limited spaces. Okay, so there's my call out. I think that would look good in yellow, so I'm going to go for a yellow. And then that box there would allow me to actually tilt that. Whoops, missed it. Tilt that. Come on, I'm not tilting. There we go. Tilt that to whichever angle I feel would get the most impact. And so there we go. We've now created a fun and simple flyer. Now, yep, it looks a bit rushed. Yes, it is a bit rushed. Let me just close that box there. And then here I can go in here, and by clicking onto the title area, it's picked up the title I've given the slide, and there it is, ready for me to use. Now, I could just go to File and Print down at the bottom there, and that would print that out, so I could go around and stick a few of those up all over the place. If I wanted to use this to create a mug or a calendar or something of that nature, then what I would do is I would move to where it says download as, and then I could download it as a PNG file or as a JPEG file, both good picture formats, which I could then track down to my local supermarket onto their photo counter, and I could put that onto a cushion, which would be so sad, but never mind. Hope that helps. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.